What is up, guys? So, on the recent video on Fubo, I got a comment on what are your thoughts on RUM. So, today we're going to be doing that. We're going to be going over RUM stock. And it has a funny little thing that it has the same kind of lawsuit, an anti competitive lawsuit with a monopoly company, Google, just like Fubo has one with Disney. Just the big companies pushing these companies down, taking their profit, taking their growth. And RUM, first look, I looked at the financials, not very good. There's some goods and bads. They have 180 million in cash. They used to have a lot more cash, and it's going down. They're not profitable, but the subscribers growth is growing or was growing. So there's a bunch of little things. What is Fubo? What is Rumble? Rumble is pretty much another YouTube, but they have shorts. They're pretty much YouTube, but without the censorship. And if you look at what's trending is like people who there's a whole cancel culture. So if you look at the politics, that is very censorized on YouTube, and on Rumble it's not. That's what's the biggest views is politics. And another one that I was surprised to see, but it all makes sense, is Tate. So Andrew Tate is obviously censorized on YouTube and not very loved there by the companies. So he's posting on YouTube. So there is a market on for Rumble. And if you look at the Rumble subscribers growth in 2022, it was 44 million active monthly users. 23, it was 272 million active users. And now this right here, the last presentation they had was full year 2022. So if you look at this, in 2022, they had 380 million in cash. Now they have 180 million in cash. So they went through that. They had 44 million active subscribers. Now they have 272 million. Very nice growth. This is some of the people they have. They have the UFC fighter, Jorge Masvidal, some doctors, some comedians and whatnot. And you can see the US election brings them a lot of views. And like I said, all these other apps have high censorship. Rumble does not. That's why people go to Rumble. And over here, they compare themselves to TikTok, which I like and I don't like. TikTok was its own separate thing. TikTok grew so much because it had shorts. It was all short videos, all addictive short videos where you just scroll. And they compared their growth to TikTok. So just 2 years ago, so whatever this was. If you look at this, this would be 2023 for Rumble, which is 2021 for TikTok. And TikTok had 130 million monthly active users, and Rumble now has 272 million. So Rumble is growing quite nicely, but that growth slowed down when we get to Q1 2024, which we will get into. But like this, all these graphs are looking very good and very promising. They do have shorts as well, and pretty much looks like YouTube. You have everything just like YouTube. And let's get into Q1 2024. Let's see where the growth slowed down. So Q1 2024 highlights, monthly active users went back to 50 million. So scratch that 272 million. So it had 50 million in the first quarter of 2024 compared to 67 million in fourth quarter of 2023. So it is down. And if you look at some other stats, we can see the hours uploaded increased 11%. That's good to see. This is a very speculative stock. This is not something you put all your money into. Definitely not. Don't go bet big on Rumble because it's just not a safe bet at all. Cash and cash equivalents of 180 million once again. And here, Rumble filed a second lawsuit against Google and Google's monopolization of the online advertising market with damages estimated in excess of 1 billion. So Google also owns not YouTube, but Google is the biggest search engine. When people search things on Google, the videos that pop up will all be YouTube. It'll never be Rumble. They won't do that to themselves. And then if you look at the revenues compared to last quarter of 2023, Q1, the revenues went up the smallest bit, 1%. And the expenses went up, 22% cost of service. So these guys do not look like they'll be profitable anytime soon. Even they're losing subscribers growth and they're losing revenue, or the revenue is staying the same. Not easy to see. One thing I do like about the company is if you go on Google Trends, if you see Rumble, you can see some of the what people are watching: WWE, Royal Rumble, and gaming, Warcraft. And it has not been growing as nice as it should. But then one thing, it has a spike every time in January. So if you look back, every January it has a spike, and let's see if that resonates to the share price. So if you look back every time, this is January right here. So in January, end of January, boom, it had a huge spike by what? 100%. So it's pretty much double right here. And if you look at the other January, what would that be right here? Another huge spike. So this would be a really cool swing trade if you would like. Here it rose at 58%, which is still very impressive. And then the January before that, I guess this was kind of the January. Well, same thing. January happened from $11 to $15. So this could be a really cool swing trade, but if you look at the other things, it has a gap right here and has another gap right here. Will it cover this? I don't know. This one for sure it will, but it has an all right support right here. So this is just a gamble, guys. And if you look at the financials, one thing I do like, it is not diluting shareholders. It still has cash in its balance sheet, but it'll only have 180 million. And let's see how much cash they burned through. So in 2023, they burned through 160 million cash. So they have enough cash to stay alive for another year. You can see revenues are slowly declining, and they lost 43 million in the last quarter. Another thing, they don't have debt. So they have low debt, and they have one thing that I love to see in companies, that they have high insider ownership. These guys have 28% insider ownership and only 23% institutional ownership. And they have 180 million in cash with only 2.9 million in debt. So they're pretty much debt free. But with companies like this that are burning through a lot of cash and don't have too much of it, you want to see a lot of growth, revenue growth, and they just are not showing it. So I'm not very impressed by that. And their price to sales ratio, they're trading 17 times sales. They're trading at a 1.9 million market cap. They're trading 9 times book value. So if they sold all their book value, they need to sell it 9 more times to even just cover the market cap. So this is not a cheap stock for sure. It is a very speculative growth stock. And if you look at the income statements, let's take a look at it quarterly. It has not been growing very nicely. Expenses have been going up, but revenue has just not been able to keep up with it. Balance sheet doesn't look bad. 70% in cash, pretty low goodwill and intangible assets, and very low liabilities. These guys have no debt. And another thing, if you look inside, there has been insider selling. So this guy has been selling 150K just this month in July 2024. He still owns 15 million shares, but just him selling does not give us a very bullish sign. If we look at the institutional ownership, some buying in 2023, some selling, more selling in 24. This independent director owns 4% of the company by himself. And if you look at the analysis, okay, this is looking nice. So they are projected to grow insanely, having revenue of 270 million by 2028, and earnings per share still negative in 2026. So it'll be very tough for these guys to go profitable. But let me know if you guys use Rumble. I've never heard any of my friends, anybody in my life heard, hey, I'm going to go watch something on Rumble. I watched something on Rumble. Analysts are still saying sell, no buys, just a couple holds. I'd say be careful with the stock. Not something I'm going to be investing in, but something that I will be checking out. And then if you look at this, if you look at some of the news, here are the lawsuits they filed against Google. Google has a monopoly on the search engine and on YouTube, and I don't think they will let them. They'll do whatever they can to stop Rumble or any other streaming platform, video platform like this from succeeding, which is the sad truth. So that is why, ladies and gentlemen, I will not be buying Rumble, and I suggest you guys just stay safe and don't bet big on this stock, because you don't know what could happen. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.